This is just a ponderous. I'm not wearing my hearing aids. I'm just some talk to as an imaginary listener, not somebody who is listening, because people who are listening are crazy and psychotic and have poached me. Rather, it would be somebody imaginary friend, because I don't have any friends. People are just really sick and evil towards me. Growing up deaf in Pittsburgh, going deaf in a public school, being very, very poor, and in the state of traumatic amnesia. Hold on, I'm going to turn off the overhead fan. Hopefully that'll do it. I didn't have any choices when it came to France. I was reading a Russian scholar on the subject of theory of literature. And he said some really deep and interesting things that pertain to the way that people visualize images or read unaware that they're not visualizing images because there aren't any images in literature. And these are very academic thoughts. And I couldn't engage my peers on the academic level, and they were running circles around me socially because I was deaf, and they knew about the things that had been done to me and were withholding from me that they knew. Tom Gordon, Larry Lederer, Martin Edelman, Leslie Katz all knew about the letters of Gail Burston. I am sure of it. So did John Schulman and Peter Gabriel. I don't know how it was decided to use me that way, but I wasn't aware of what had happened. I was in some sort of shock, amnesia. I couldn't remember what happened. When I remembered being kidnapped and tortured, it was because I went into convulsions and was screaming on homelessness in Des Moines. And of course, they were using media to make it look like I was hiding a date rape, which is just the evil of Peter Gabriel's mind. I mean, anybody who has dragged themselves through the muck of his rape glorification and Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, or his sadistic ideas about abortion on nursery crime, is aware that Peter Gabriel is a dangerously sick individual, a Ripper Hatter. But that's not what I wanted to get into, really. I don't even remember what I wanted to get into. None of that, really. So, I went to Lecce Alternative High School. I used to walk up the hill into the Hill District. I mean, after what I'd been through in East Liberty, I knew that violence on the streets of Pittsburgh was real and terrifying. But it was always the white kids that did it. It was rare, very rare that a black person picked on me. Later, they did. When they started resenting that I was intellectually active, See, I couldn't engage my peers in classes because I couldn't hear. So I couldn't follow the conceptualizations in a way that would unfold in the mind of discourse. But I used to read things, long books. I read Tolkien's trilogy several times. I read The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. Books I don't even remember. Interview with Stalin by Milan Vangelis, I think, was one of the books I used to read. Confucius and Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. I read The Republic of Socrates, God help me, Plato, because that really came back to bite me. And I've read The Young Person's Guide to King Crimson a couple times. I don't remember all the books I read. So someone comes, I read The Mechanic, Ratman's Notebooks when I was growing up and stuff. I read all of the James Bonds. The only one I didn't like was The Spy Who Loved Me. I read Hardy Boys and stuff. But I would get in pretty deep in some of the encyclopedia articles I would read. I would read about El Salvador, and I would read about philosophy. I would read things, encyclopedia articles. Sometimes I'd even just thumb through it at random to pick things out that were interesting. I read The New Republic a lot. I'd sit down like this on my couch and just read The New Republic cover to cover. And I read Bruno Bettelheim. I read Night by Eli Wiesel. Gazetnik really scared me, shocked me. I used to go to movies that were deep. Moscow Does Not Believe in Tears was interesting. I saw the house on the store on Main Street or whatever it was, that Occupation era film, Andalusian Dog, and so on. Putting things together was sometimes a little bit difficult. I took Leslie Katz to see Nicholas and Alexandra. And she took me to Mr. Roberts, I think. I met Yevgeny Yevdoshenko after he read his poetry. So I read his book, The Face Behind the Face, Snow in Tokyo and stuff. Went to the Governor's School for the Arts and read poetry. Really liked Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold. I still remember that. I can recite that pretty easily. I don't recite it very much anymore because I've written so many of my own poems. And when I get around to reciting a poem, I try to find an excuse to interject a poem. Seattle used to be pretty good about poetry. There used to be poetry meetings. But they don't do that anymore. I don't know why. But even in the round, I'm deaf, so I'm isolated. It's just a stand-up thing. People don't miss that they can't talk to me because they were just enjoying making sport of me. People don't watch my my videos, except crazy people who are trying to murder me so they can, grab my stuff. Because they're crazy people. They're really psychotic. I mean, look at the paradigm that Pieter and Gabriel put together using media ripper-hatterness. He had a victim of torture who had an impacted neuroplasm, screaming from the bedlam of being kidnapped off the streets in the snow at the age of 12 or 13 by armed men in stolen cars. And he called that date rape. And those are the kind of sickos that are after me, poisoning me in the mouth, giving me diabetes, Parkinson's, wrecking my immune system, destroying my name, erectile dysfunction. Murdering Kennedys when they write to me and so on. It's pretty abominable. I'd like to think it's somebody just down in Olympia like Jay Inslee, who's nuts and has control over everybody with their hypno machine, lying to them about me and saying, let's get him, because that simplifies it. I don't really know who it is. Somebody really sick and depraved came after me from the time I was little and is still at it.